Greetings, world! It is I, Eric the Bourassa, and today I bestow upon thee, Strypers, see no evil, hear no evil. We're gonna be doing the riffages and the lead, everything but the guitar solo. Guitar solo is going to be coming in part 2 in the coming days. So just feast your fingers upon this riffage here. All right, so Strypers, see no evil, hear no evil. We're tuned to drop C. That means everything is from standard, you're tuned down one whole step, plus you're doing dropped D, all right? So we're gonna tune the E all the way down to a C. And then your A becomes a G. And then your D string becomes a C. Your G string becomes an F. Your B string becomes an A. And your high E becomes a D. All right, so it's basically drop D down a whole step, and it's technically called dropped C tuning, okay? So our first riff goes like this, our intro. All right, so what's happening there is we just got this nice low open string, and then we got 8-7, 8-7 on strings 4 and 5. Now, on that final 7, as you listen to the recording, I didn't mark this in the notation, but you want to do a little bit of vibrato and a couple of like quarter step or half step pulls like this. And you could just kind of feel that out. And then the second time, we change our bass note to an 8 on string 6. And then everything else is the same, except 2 extra notes at the end. And then, chucka-boom. You could also palm mute those chuckas. You can mute the strings, or you could go. I think it sounds more like muting, but honestly, either way is fine. Now, like the third time coming in, we have a harmony guitar part that's played on top of the first guitar, and it's up, everything's up a third in key, right? So sounds kind of weird by itself, but when you put them together, it's pretty cool. Okay, so then our intro riff 2, our second intro riff, which is the same as the verse riff, goes like this. All right, what's happening there is we're going to alternate between no palm muting and a couple of palm mute chucks. So we got no palm mute opens and then 2 chuckas. That kind of a feel. And then we got a D5 chord, down a whole step, of course, but we're going to call it D5. I'm just going to do a 2-finger power chord because it's easier to slide than a 3-string power chord. But you could do a 3-finger power chord there. So we got 5 and 7 on the 5th and 4th strings, respectively. Be respective, everybody. Up to 6 and 8, back to 5 and 7. So, all right. And then we're going to do the same thing from the 3rd fret power chord to the 5th. Right, so we have palm mute, no. Palm mute, no. Right? So we got no palm mute, a couple of palm muted hits, and then no palm mute. If you're not used to that, getting used to your hand going back and forth can be a little tricky at first, but I would recommend just kind of practicing, going palm mute, no, palm mute, no, palm mute, no. Just get used to doing that, okay? So then next what happens is we're going to do the power chord on strings 6, 5, and 4. 7, 8, 7, right? So when we're in drop D tuning, or drop C in this case, we just have our 1 finger on our 3 thickest strings to make a power chord. You could slide that, or you could like hammer on and pull off. And then we'll slide up 7, 8, 7 down to 3, right? So again, here's that whole intro riff. 5, 6, 5. 3, 5, 3, 7, 8, 7, 7, 8, 7. And then the second time through is the same. My bad. So 0, 7, 8. And you can kind of do a little bit of palm muting there or no palm muting. You can kind of play with that. Now, over top of this, we have a lead part that goes like this. So what we're doing there, pretty simple, but really listen to the rhythm. I didn't notate the rhythm perfectly. The beat gets a little dragged in a couple of those fast parts, right? So make sure you add vibrato to that first note on the 15th fret of the second string. And then from 11, we're going to hammer, pull, slide to 10. But it's not totally even. It's not like, it's like, so you sort of drag out and then rush there, right? So just listen for the timing and play with the recording to get that. And then we go to the third string, 12, 10, 9, 8, 9, 7, and then I don't have my whammy bar out. Hold on. All right, got the whammy bar. So as you're playing this, on that lead part, add some whammy bar and some vibrato. You don't have to do it exactly like the recording. Just make sure you're getting the feel, the essence of it, if you will, right? So what's happening is they're doing like a dip. So that's where you pluck a note and you immediately depress the bar. Don't get depressed, my little bar. Just for a split second, and then you're back to happy land. Depressed, and then back to happy, right? So a dip, right? You pick and push down on the bar suddenly at the same time, and then release. If you do it separately, it's pick, depress, release, right? But we really want to do that all simultaneously. So that's how they're getting that sound. All right, so there's that dip there. And then the second time through, we've got 10, 11, 13, and then 18, 17. Kind of like that. Let me just double check. So the second time again. Same the first half, then the second half, 10, 11, 13, 17, 18, 17, 18, and then slowly bend that 20 with vibrato on top on the second string, right? Kind of like that, okay? I'm kind of ballparking it there. The timing of that is a little weird. Okay, so then the verse is just the same as riff 2. So we've already covered that. Now we get into the chorus. The chorus is pretty simple. It's just power chords on 8 and 10 on the 3 thickest string. Okay, all right. So, yeah, again, 8th note power chord on the 8th fret, 8 hits on 10, and then we got this 5, 4, 5, 3, 2, 3, 5, 4, 5, 3, and don't forget your vibrato. So that's pretty simple on the 4th string, 5 and 4, and then 5th string on the 5th fret. And then do the same thing starting at the 3rd fret, same pattern, 3, 2, 3. And then the second time through, just stop on that 3. And then the second time through, the chorus, 8 to 10. and then power chord on 6th fret of the 5th string. And then we go through the verse and the chorus again. At the end of the second chorus, you just hit open D, open on the 3 thickest strings. And then that's going to lead us into the guitar solo. All right, we're going to save the solo for the next video, but hopefully this is a good primer, enough to get you rocking and having fun with the song before we dive into the solo in part 2. All right, guys, be sure and like and subscribe if you dig Stryper as much as I do, and if you like just good rockin' guitar, lead guitar stuff, awesome riffage. Stay tuned for more, and I'll see you guys next time.